Hi everybody and welcome back. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Dang RDA. This is a 24 millimeter RDA and it is from Twisted Messes and OhmBoyOC. OhmBoyOC did send this to me and I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for sending this my way. I've been testing it out for a while and I definitely want to give you my thoughts. I'm going to show you all about it and then we'll come back up. Thoughts, opinions, pros and cons, and we'll have a vape. So let's go ahead and go down and take a look at the Dang RDA. Okay, so here we are with the Dang RDA. This is by Twisted Messes and OhmBoyOC. This was sent to me by OhmBoyOC, so thank you so much for sending this my way. It says Twisted Messes and OhmBoyOC right there, and then nothing else on the side. On the back, nothing except for my fingerprints, and then I do have the color rainbow. This does come in 4 colors, rainbow, black, ultimate, stainless. Inside, you're gonna get a little pamphlet. This doesn't give any specs on it, but it does give you a little bit of instructions on how to build on it. Then you're gonna get your top cap, you're gonna get your deck, and then you're gonna get a bag of goodies. You're gonna get your tools so that you can actually use it. It's got like the Phillips head and the grub screw and the flathead on it. You've got some extra O-rings, and then you're gonna have a squonk pin. We are gonna take out the squonk pin because I am gonna be squonking with this. So we'll go ahead and remove that squonk pin. And then we'll put everything else back. And then of course you're gonna get some silica gel, do not eat. The top cap. So here's the top cap. It does have the Dang logo right here. You've got some airflow on this side as well as on this side. You've got 10 airflow holes. Really nice size, I have to say. They're not too tiny and they're not too small. You do have a removable 810 drip tip. This does have an Ultim bottom, but it is a black drip tip, and any 810 will fit here nice and snug. I've already tried a few, they fit perfectly. And then you've got a little bit of knurling here with some notches for your airflow control, and you can actually cut it down. You can cut it down by just the first row, and then you can cut it down the bottom little by little, and then you can keep going, and then the top row is open, the bottom row is closed. So you've got a lot of airflow choices, which to me, I absolutely love choices and options. So that to me is absolutely great. Inside, you're gonna see it's really nice and clean. You've got a notch here and you've got a notch here. It looks like a little triangle. That's actually to lock your deck in place so that your deck isn't spinning. And then here's your top cap, really nice. You can see the step down on this, so as you're turning it, it's going to actually change that. This would be all the way open. This is top open. This is bottom open, and really nice conical design. Fits really well, and I love the tension of it. It's not too tight and it's not too loose. It's absolutely perfect. So here we have with the deck now, and on the bottom it is a 24 millimeter RDA. It does have Allen key 510. It does protrude, and if you want to remove that, of course all you need is the Allen key. So let's go ahead and remove that first before we do anything else, and we'll go ahead and put in the squonk pin. I'm just holding the deck in while I do this. Okay, and just make sure that your peak insulator does stay in, because it does come out sometimes when you're removing the 510. Just go ahead and screw that in like that. Okay, and then once you have it in and nice and tight, that is what it looks like on top. Okay, and then you have the squonk pin in. Everything is great. Now on to the rest of the deck. Now this is the deck. If you notice real close, we have the positive here and the negative here. This is the side that does have the peak insulation. And then if you notice, there's no openings here, but there's a really nice deep juice well. This has an 11 millimeter deep juice well. And then to open up the clamps, there are these beefy Allen screws, one on each side, only one, but it works sort of like spring loaded in a way, because when you're unscrewing it, the whole piece actually opens up. You see that? And it stops. It has a stopping point, so you can't continue to unscrew it. So you don't have to worry about losing your screws or anything like that, which I think is really nice and innovative. And then unscrew the other side and it's the same thing. And then this is what it looks like fully open. Now this has got a really deep leg room as well. So you can actually cut your legs, like it's got a 7 millimeter deep leg room. So your coil legs can be anywhere from 7 millimeters or shorter, and then you would just go ahead and adjust them. Now, when you're installing your coils, you do want to be cognizant of your airflow holes. So remember, there is a little bit of lip here, which I didn't show you, but there's a little lip here, and you've got 2 O-rings. So you always want to measure from the lip, and then you want your coils to be right at the middle of the airflow and higher, because if you don't, then all your airflow is going to be hitting the coils and nothing going under to bring in that flavor, or it'll be going over the coils if they're too low. So we do want to measure it with that in mind. So I do have it in squonk mode, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it on my squonk mod. And then we're going to go ahead and throw in a build. I do have my coily tool to cut my legs, which I absolutely love doing. I love this tool. This is like my favorite tool ever. And then for today's coils, I'm actually going to be using my favorite frame staple coils. These are my second favorite, other than my fuse Claptons from Coil Clout. If you go to coilclout.com, you can use the coupon code Wendy and you'll get a discount from that. And these are what they look like. Absolutely beautiful coils. I almost forgot about these, and I found these in the back of my drawer, and I was like, oh my God, my favorite coils. So these are them. And then we're gonna go ahead and take our coily tool, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut it at 7 millimeters. Now again, you can cut them shorter and then just lift them up manually. I'm just gonna go ahead and take my cutters, and I'm gonna cut it at 7. Cut that one. I'm gonna cut this one. You can even cut them a little bit longer. I actually have my other ones at 7.5 and they work just fine. And then do 7 again. And it's literally like gonna go all the way to the bottom. So it's good that way. There we go. And then get that coil out. Love this tool. So what I'm gonna do now is just get my handy dandy screwdriver and go ahead and place these coils in here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and look, just drop them in. Now, the good thing is if you're using a screwdriver, it's gonna stop. It's not gonna go all the way flat against the bottom, but I do like to raise them up when I'm putting them in, because I do wanna measure them to the height of the airflow. So I'm actually just gonna hold it up a little bit, then I'm gonna tighten it, and then I'm gonna measure it. So there we have it there. Here's my lip there, and it's literally gonna be perfect. So there we go. Because we want the airflow to go a little bit over. So I'll lift them up just a little bit, but that's about the right height for them. So I'm just gonna tighten that down and then put in the other one. Again, you can just drop them in and then raise them up manually like I did. And that's how I measure it, and just put it in there. And then I'm just gonna raise it up and hold them up a little bit, right about there. And then tighten it down. I mean, shoot, if I can do it, you can do it. And there we go. We've got them installed. Now what we need to do is just go ahead and position them. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one just a little bit like this. And then I'm going to pull this one a little bit back like this, because I want it closer to the airflow. And then do this one again. My OCD, it's crooked. Okay. Bring this one out like that. And that is how they look. And it's nice and raised. Again, you can check it with your airflow. Just make sure that you have it on the lip. But right there, I have my, if I look at it right here, I'm gonna have some airflow going right underneath them. So I'm just gonna pick it up just a hair a little bit more, just to ensure that. Pick this one up just a hair. And now it's absolutely perfect. Definitely perfect. And then you can go ahead and measure it. Like, well, let me measure it on this side that doesn't have that. And you can measure it, and that's gonna be absolutely perfect. So let's go ahead and fire these up. I'm just gonna, yeah, perfect. So let me just turn this down a little bit. Go. Starting to heat up. Review it. There we go. Starting to heat up there. Oh yeah. Come on, my favorite. These are literally like been my favorite for, I want to say like 2 years. No, it's been about almost 2 years that these are actually my favorite. Look at those. Oh my gosh. Love, love, love. There we go. Almost heated up all the way through. Just gonna pull this one over here. Pull this one over here a little bit more. Oh yeah. Make sure these are nice and tight. Love these screwdrivers. There we go. Now, some people go and strum with metal. I'm not going to strum with metal. Metal actually breaks up the Clapton wires on the outside, so you definitely don't want to scrape with metal. Sometimes with ceramic tweezers, I'll go ahead and scrape it a little bit, but it's really not necessary. You just sit there and play with them, and they usually heat up really nice. I'm gonna pinch. Max? 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 Give me my 2 green batteries in the middle of that thing in there. Okay, and there we got them heating up from the inside out. So all we have to do now is just let it cool down, then we'll wicker up. Okay, and for today's cotton, I'm going to be using my Kendo Vape Cotton Gold Edition. That's just my favorite go-to cotton. I've already cut off a piece here, so I'm going to actually just split this in half. That's all I usually do. Just go ahead and split it right in half. And then twist up one side. Get it twisted, messes, twisted. Okay, I'm just going to slide that through, pull it on the other side. Go, and then do the other side. Now remember, it's got a deep juice well, but you do want to leave a little bit of space in the juice well, so you do want to thin out your cotton a little bit. Because of the fact that there's not really going to be too much space once you put your cotton in there, you do want a little bit of like an air pocket sort of in there, so that you have that air to escape while you're going ahead and saturating that cotton, even while squonking. So we're going to do that. And all we're going to do is just go ahead and fluff this out. This is what I usually do. This is what works for me. And for me, when you make the ends the fluffiest, that's going to actually saturate your cotton just a little bit faster, because it's going to have that capillary action, and it'll be able to pull it up a little bit faster. So I'm going to go ahead and just thin this out a little bit. I'm not thinning it out too much, but I am thinning it out because, well, hello. And then I'm just going to go ahead and measure it right above that bottom O-ring. I don't want it all the way down the bottom. I want to leave a little bit of room for the juice to get in there. And then just over here the same way. Even though it's deep, I don't want it like stuffed with cotton. I'm just going to go ahead and put this in here. Put this one in here. And you see it's not too tight. I've got room still in here. I don't want it too tight because I want it to be able to saturate. I'll do the same thing here. Just get this little straggly piece right there. Put this one in here. And this one in here. There we go. Again, I've got plenty of room. I've gone ahead and just fluffed them out in there, and that's perfect. So let's go ahead and get this all whipped up. Now we can go ahead and squonk it. It's better if you squonk it with the cap on it, because the cap is actually going to give it room where it can squonk right up into the coils. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put this on for you so I can show you the squonking. Lock it into place, and then we'll go ahead and squonk it. You see? Squonk's super, super easy, but it does have the pullback for the extra e-liquid. So it pulls right back. But with the cap on, you can actually just keep on squonking, and it's getting to the coils. You hear the pullback or the drawback of the e-liquid. But anytime that I ever have fresh cotton or a fresh coil in, I always go ahead and help it along. So I'm going to go ahead and just put some on there and then just start heating it up a little bit. When I'm doing that, what's going to happen is that the inside of the coils are going to get saturated. So that way we get the cotton from the inside out. Of course, I drip on the outside because that's just my way. And do a little bit more. There we go. We've got vapors. I'm just going to help it along right there. And then we'll go ahead and put on the top cap. And there we go. The dang RDA. So let's go ahead and go on top. We'll talk about it, pros and cons. And yeah, let's go ahead and have a vape. The dang RDA by Twisted Messes and OhmBoyOC. Okay, so here we are back on top with the dang RDA. And before anything, I'm going to go ahead and have a vape, and then we're going to talk more about it. You hear that airflow? Super, super smooth. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Now, first of all, I'm going to tell you right away, the flavor is on point. The flavor is absolutely amazing in this. You just have to make sure that you're positioning your coils correctly. If you aren't getting good flavor, it's probably because of your coil positioning, but if you line it up with the airflow like I showed you down below, you shouldn't really have any problem. The aesthetics of it, absolutely beautiful. I love the rainbow. It does come in 4 colors. I'm going to go ahead and put the colors right up here for you. We have rainbow. They've got black, ultim, and stainless steel. Another pro for me is going to be the clamp system. I love clamp systems that have, well, my favorite was spring-loaded, but you don't even need it with this because of the way that it is with the 1 screw on each side, or 1 Allen screw on each side. It opens them up equally and it closes them down equally, and I think that that's great. It makes it super, super easy to build on, so I do like that. It does have the zirconium type of build deck, which I, for the clamp style, and I think that that's great. I really love the innovation that they put into this. It's super easy to build on, super easy to wick. You just want to make sure that you're not stuffing too much cotton. If you stuff too much cotton, it's going to not wick as efficiently as if you don't stuff it. Now, I'm picky on my RDAs, whether or not I drip on them or I squonk on them. And this one I do like better as squonking, but I do like it as a dripper too. So this is one of those RDAs that I can go either way and I'm happy with it. I tested it out a lot with dripping and squonking, and it's just either way it really, really thrives. Again, you do have to be really weary about the amount of cotton that you put in, especially if you're squonking. You definitely don't want it to go all the way down, and you also want to thin out the ends at least. At the minimum, you want to thin out those ends so that with the capillary action, it will go ahead and wick efficiently. Another pro for me is going to be the airflow control. Being able to actually have all those options to close it down. You can have the top row closed down. You can have the bottom row closed down. You can have a little bit of each. You can have some of one, not of the, just having those options to me is the definite pro. Having the machining on it is absolutely beautiful. I do have one con, and it's not really a con, but I had to come up with a con, and this is the only con that I could really come up with this RDA. Is going to be the fact that it didn't come with an extra drip tip. I really would have preferred this to come with like an extra drip tip, just if you want to change it out, maybe something a little bit higher or colorful or something like that. Like a lot of these RDAs come with. That's the only thing that I would say about that. Otherwise, I don't feel like there's any con to the RDA, the way that it functions, the way that you build on it, anything like that. Now, it's not a con, but I do want to warn you that if you over squonk, like you can actually squonk a lot in here. You really can. I showed you down below how if I took off the airflow ring, you can actually see how it squonks. But if you tip it over when you've got it full and it hasn't sucked back in, you can get some leaking, but that would be user error, not really an error in the actual RDA itself, but really user error. But I do want to warn you on that. So when you're squonking it and you're squonking it all up, let it actually go back into the bottle before you sit there and you tilt it or anything like that. Not only that, it's going to prevent a lot of spit back as well, because it's not full of juice. It's actually gone ahead and sucked back into the bottle. On this, I really haven't gotten too much spit back at all, to be honest with you, unless you don't wait for it to get back into the bottle. Dripping, I haven't gotten any spit back, and squonking, I really haven't gotten any spit back. But that's just, the way that I vape, maybe. I don't know. But it is possible for you to do that, again, if you flood out the deck. But other than that, I really can't find any cons to this other than what I said. You don't really need extra screws. It doesn't come with extra screws, but being that they don't come out, you really don't need extra screws. But I love that they put it in there with that stopper. So you can only go so far and it won't come out. So that to me is a definite huge pro. You're not losing screws. You don't have to worry about having extra screws. There you go. I don't know, being that they're beefier, I don't think that they're gonna wear down or anything, because of the fact that they're a little bit thicker, and you really don't have to over tighten it and you don't have to over loosen it. So as long as you're not trying to over tighten it, I think that it's going to last you pretty long. I do love the color. The rainbow color looks absolutely amazing. The other colors are really nice too. I'm not really into the Ultim, but any of the other colors I would have liked, because they look great. I love the logo on it. But that's just me. I really do like the logo. I think that it's great. Dang, But yeah, so that's pretty much it. You can actually find this on twistedmesses.com. It is around $65. I did find it at my VPro online, but it is on, it's out of stock right now, but they do have it for, I think it was like $56, somewhere around there. So you can find it online other than twistedmesses.com. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for my review. I really, really like the flavor of this. Again, I'm very particular in squonking and dripping, and usually an RDA for me either does one or does the other. But in this case, I like it both ways, which is kind of unheard of for me. So that's definitely a plus. But yeah, so that's it for my review. If you like the review, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below. Let me know on an RDA like this, as you've seen it, would you prefer it for squonking or for dripping? Let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you in my next one.